Hello and welcome back to the Pub Test Podcast. I had to step in after Riley took 4 attempts to begin this episode and failed all 4 times. So, host steps up. So, welcome. Corey, once again, back again.
Yep.
Once again, back again.
Again to us.
Guess who's back?
Welcome, obviously.
Back again. Thank you.
As we said on the last podcast, Fletcher was available tonight. We thought he was back next week. He was actually back last night. But we're like, we still want Corey. The fans want Corey. So Fletcher will be back next week. Whether the fans are happy or sad about that remains to be seen. We should do a poll.
I was going to say it'll be a public vote for who leaves the podcast.
No, because it'll be me, and we don't want that. So, then no one else will do the Tell a Stranger at the end of the episode. So I need to be on for that.
Of course, because that's very important.
Yeah, we can't miss that.
That's super
Correct.
important.
So we are not doing a poll because it'll be me that's voted off Survivor style. But is it individual awards, isn't it, Riley?
It is. And hi, thanks for introducing me. Cheers.
He's back, Riley. Hello.
Thanks.
Host.
Yeah. Well, not anymore.
Hostess with the mostest.
Hostess with the mostest. What's that saying?
Co-hostess with what?
Yeah, what?
No, because I've heard that.
Hostess with the mostest.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Right?
Sorry.
what I
Yeah.
said.
No, you're
said
right. I'm just
You're having a bit of a mare today.
I know. It's not my best. Sorry.
Let's just get stuck into it.
Yes.
Now you have the questions,
I do.
so you can do it.
Yes. Individual awards, NBA awards, and a couple of other questions to ask. So we'll just start it off straight. Oh, do you want to go from the most exciting award or the least exciting award?
think
I'm going to leave
least.
this up to you.
I personally think least.
Oh, well, don't look at me. I'm a guest.
I think least. I reckon we
You
build
want
up
least?
to the MVP or build up to the finals. Finals prediction has to go last, but
Okay.
I think we start with like yeah. I don't know what you think's the least, but yeah, I don't want to start MVP personally.
Okay. No worries. Let's go from the least exciting up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the lead here and say that the sixth man of the year is probably the least exciting of these.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So, Tom, who is your sixth man of the year for the NBA season 2023-2024?
Thank you. For me, it is Malik Monk.
Monk.
He will be the sixth. I'm not sure how he went last year. Who won last year? Brogdon, yeah. I think Monk will be the man this year, personally. I don't really have any notes on it. I just think it'll be him. It's a gut feeling. So, yeah.
On an exciting Kings team, we imagine.
Yes, he scored a lot of points.
They
So,
do.
yeah. I just think, I'm just not sure Brogdon's on the Blazers. Is he?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
just
on the
not-
Blazers right now.
I'm just not sure a team that's trying to be not great. Well, not trying to. They're rebuilding. I'm just not sure Brogdon plays enough minutes to win 6 men again. So for me, it is Malik Monk.
Yep, he finished, I believe, top 5
I
last
thought he was
year.
good. I wasn't sure exactly,
So-
but I knew he was good last year.
He's
So,
around the mark.
I think on a successful team, he'll play a lot of minutes, take out a lot of threes, and he will win it.
How many points do you think he'll average? Gut
Go.
feel.
Gee, what did he have last year? I don't know. He'd get reasonably close to 20, wouldn't he? I don't know what he got last year, so that's why I don't want to say an outrageous number.
Somewhere around the mark, I dare say.
Last year,
Yeah.
he had, what? 13.5 points per game.
Huh?
You don't actually need that many as a six-man.
True.
I think he can break 15. Then I almost said 20. I didn't realize he's got 13.
I mean, I just said gut feel.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
That's
I
it.
think he eclipses. I think he'll need to eclipse 15 to win. I think he will.
Beautiful.
Trust your gut.
Yeah, Corey, what's your gut tell you?
My gut tells me that it's going to be Emmanuel Quickly. He had a really good year last year, playing behind God, his name escapes me all of a sudden. My man Brunson.
Brunson.
Yeah, love the Knicks.
Will's me.
Will's man Brunson. Yeah, playing behind Brunson. I believe he came second in voting last year. Had a really good season. Nice young player, good piece. I expect him to take another little jump. I do actually have a couple other listed down here.
Yes.
But I'll just mention one of them that sucks me in every year, and it's just not going to happen. But I wrote him down anyway. Kaminga. Every year preseason.
You
he
mentioned
goes
him
and
while waiting for Riley to come over. That Kuminga just pre-season takes the piss all the time.
Yep, every year he averages 25 points per game in preseason. Looks like he's about to take a leap, and then he plays 10 minutes a game, averages 6. And he just about sucked me in. I wrote him down, and I went, "No, Corey, sensible."
Don't do it.
Yep,
Don't
for
do
quickly.
it. But we'll watch out for him this
Yep.
season.
What-
Hoping.
Yep, I just want to put the magnifying glass on him and go, "Hey, show me something."
Show it to me. All right.
So you can get out all that energy.
No. All right. So I have another Golden State Warrior, and I've gone rogue with this. because I feel like there's no standout option, no like clear-cut standout option.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Chris Paul winning Sixth Man of the Year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because I think, in my opinion, his best position on this team is to come off the bench and run their offense that way.
Yep.
Rather than playing alongside Steph and Clay and all those guys.
Maybe having closing games as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So having the minutes of a starter, but
Off
off
the
the bench. And
Got
it's
it.
that cheeky little loophole.
Yep.
But, and it might not be him. It might not be him having amazing stats, but the impact that he could have on this team, because that was a massive issue that they had last year, was when Curry went off, they lost the plot. They had statistically the best starting lineup, I believe, by net rating.
Yep.
And then fell off a cliff as soon as Steph and those guys went off the court. So I believe that, his stats won't jump off the page, but his impact is going to be huge, and we'll get a lot of credit for what will be a Golden State resurgence. So,
Love it.
bit rogue, but we will see. All right, Defensive Player of the Year. Tom, who have you got?
Walker Kessler from the Jazz.
Oh, I love that. That's bold.
Hello.
I think he's having a block party this season.
Block party.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like Walker Kessler. Thought he had a really good year last year, broke out. And don't know who the hell's taking minutes off him at centre. So who plays backup centre for the Jazz? You could not
Hold said phone
not have a clue.
while I look.
I dare say that's got to be one of Tommy's fantasy sleepers that he's looking at.
I thought you could say one of his fantasies.
Oh, jeez. Fantasy basketball, for those listening at home.
It is Kelly
ESPN.
Olynyk.
Kelly Olynyk is not taking minutes off him.
Vastly
So,
different
yeah.
players, too.
Yeah.
I think Walker Kessler has a lot of blocks. My only thing is how many steals they get, but I think he has a shit ton of. I think he leads the league in blocks this year.
Ooh, bang.
It's a big man's award.
It is. Corey, who do you think will win it?
Bit of a boring answer. I'm going Giannis. With Dame back into the side, not back into the side. He's new to the team. Giannis gets to take that backseat a little bit of an offensive load. He really gets to carry that defense, and I reckon that's going to be enough for him to, because he's regarded as just about the best defensive player in the league as it is, regardless of who wins the award in the end. He's sort of regarded as that sort of player because of his versatility and his stats speak for themselves as well.
Yes, yeah. I believe in the NBA GM survey, sorry, I'm trying to scroll now as I speak, but I believe he was voted almost unanimously as the best defensive, 40% of GMs voted him as the best defensive player in the NBA.
Yeah.
Next best was Drew Holiday, 13%. So that's widely known in the NBA. He is the best defensive player, just doesn't always get the plaudits for it. So,
Yeah.
Good answer. I've got the defending champ, which is boring, Jaren Jackson Jr. He's just a defensive beast, and the stats are always going to be there. Again, it's a matter of if he plays, if he stays healthy. If he plays enough games and is able to accumulate the stats, I think it's his to lose.
Yeah.
But we will see. I think unless someone like Giannis has just a perfect narrative of a season, I guess, I think JJJ is going to win it.
Absolutely.
I'm surprised that we had 3 different answers for that.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's going to look good on the socials.
Aesthetics.
Yes, there. All right. Tom, would you argue that the Rookie of the Year or Most Improved is more exciting?
Well, sounds like we've gone different for the rookie. So I'm going to go most improved because I think we've got a bit of debate for the rookie of the year.
Okay, let's do it. Tom, who's your most improved player this season?
I'm going rogue. He's like $51 on Sportsbet.
Whoa.
Devin Vassell.
Nice.
He got a max deal,
He did.
and I just think him and Wemby, some pick and roll action. I'm excited. And he's one that, please let me take him in fantasy because I want him
Oh, yeah.
as a Spurs fan. So, I like Devin Vassell. I think my only thought is the last few years, hasn't it generally gone to a bigger name?
Yes, it's generally gone from someone being not from like decent
Yeah.
to really good. It's gone from good
Really
to
good
great
to, like,
or superstar.
All NBA.
Yeah.
So that's my concern is the last few years of trends being gone from players like Halliburton that's gone from a great player to like all NBA type player, and Vassell's not that. So this would be like an old school like most improved. But yeah, I like Devin Vassell. Maybe I'm a bit biased, but
One of the hardest awards to predict,
it
isn't
is.
Yes.
It's a raffle.
Absolutely. Corey, who you got?
Well, I mean, if Tommy's going to back his Spurs, I'm going to back my Rockets.
Yes.
Jabba the Hutt. Jabari Smith Jr. for me. I reckon he has the capacity to be able to score 20 points per game this year. He averaged 12 last year, I believe. Somewhere around that sort of mark.
His shooting Saturday was terrible.
Yeah, but in pre-season he's looked really good. He's had a bit more of a, for lack of a better word, inclination.
Oh, that's a great word.
Gee,
I
we
haven't heard that in a
Yeah.
while.
That's big words for me, Corey Lyle.
That's to say he's inclined to attack the ring at the moment, and he's getting free throws, and he's a good free throw shooter. So, look, I'm hoping for big things as a Rockets fan.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's a good one. That's a good one. What would
Another
what would
rogue
his,
one.
Yeah, I'd say what would his odds on sports bet be? Do you reckon, Tom?
dare say he'd be outside the top 15.
Yeah.
I guess.
Go.
All right. While you do that, Tom,
Yeah,
I'm going to
please.
explain mine. I've got Mikal Bridges of the Brooklyn Nets. So
Opportunity.
it's a bit of a cheat one because there's a chance that, like, for example, in the 27 games he played as a net last year, he averaged 26, 5 and 3, which is unreal stats. And I believe he will replicate that. So if you look at his overall stats last year compared to if he does that again, it looks like he's had a massive growth
jump,
out of
but he-
nowhere,
yeah.
even though he technically hasn't. But I think he's still going to get the plaudits for it anyway. So
Yep.
this is essentially his team now. There's a lot of good players in that team, but he's the number one guy.
Absolutely.
So, and yeah, we spoke about it last week. This Nets team is going to be followed very closely. They're going to be good to watch. They're going to be in the news. So I've got a feeling he's going to win it. Another one, dark horse, probably the wrong word, but Cade.
Yeah,
in
no,
this
I like
Detroit
it.
I
team.
like
Yeah.
Cade.
His
I like
stats and he barely played last year.
Cade. 12 games.
So there's a chance that, he should be a far better player than he was in his rookie year. He's had a whole year to, even though he was rehabbing, sort of improve, practice, become a better player. He has the potential, I feel, to have sort of a 25, 5 and 5
Yep.
on that Pistons team.
Yep.
So bit of a dark horse there.
Jabari was
Odds.
$34.
Ooh.
So your Mikal Bridges is the favourite at 10. Cade's like 15.
Ooh.
Okay.
And also another not rogue one. It's following the pattern. Ant Edwards is fairly high up in odds, and I think he has to. It's a pretty big league. He's already a very good player, but following the trend of great players going to All NBA, winning it, he'd be a prime candidate for that if that trend continues.
He averaged 25, 6 and 4
He'd
last
have
year.
to. The team would have to be good, and and we said the last podcast they're not going to be. So he probably doesn't win it, but he's one that if the trend continues from great player to
Yeah.
All NBA first, second team,
It would have to be a Shea level of improvement.
he'd have
It's
to
a
be
30.
He'd have to be All NBA first team to do that.
Yeah, but there's a chance. There is absolutely a chance. Okay, Rookie of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's talk about. I feel like this one could get a little bit spicy. Tom,
Yes.
who have you got for Rookie of the Year?
Well, I've got Scoot Henderson because I don't think Wemby plays enough games to win it. I think Wemby will by far have the best stats, but obviously the new limit comes in at 65 games. I'm not sure he plays it. Now, I'm really keen to see how many times players play like 10 minutes to rack those games up and be eligible. So I think that's going to happen at some point, whether it be All NBA, whether it be these awards, that players will come on, maybe not necessarily come on and go straight off, but play like 10 minutes, play a quarter.
I have
Take
something
off.
to tell you. They have to play at least 20 minutes in 65 games.
I like that because
That's
who did it? Did someone do it from the Mavs last year? Luca played someone did it where they went on and went straight back off again.
People have done it plenty of times
Yeah.
because it's like incentive based. Those All NBA teams,
Yeah.
they end up getting max contracts.
I reckon Drew did it last year before. I reckon Drew's
Drew
done
Holiday
it.
definitely did it.
He's done
Yep,
it.
that was a memorable one.
So I did not know the 20-minute rule. So that makes me even more confident that I don't think he plays 65 games. I think he plays in the 50s.
It's very good logic. Very good logic. Corey, what do you reckon?
Rarely do I agree with Tom, but in this case I do. I hadn't actually given that sort of like floating people on for 10 minutes any thought, but to hear that that they can't do that and that they need to play 20 minutes, that's almost solidified that I've got Scoot winning it.
Yeah.
Just because I think he's going to play so many games, he's going to have the ball in his hands majority of the time. He'll be able to be a bit of a facilitator as well as a good scorer. We know he can do that just fine. With the talent around him in Portland, I think he's got every opportunity to take it by storm.
Yeah, and he'll put up stats, and if he gives it all back on the other end, no one's going to care.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a bit phlegmy in my throat, so I sound a bit weird there. But, yeah, I like that one. I
Yeah,
went
GC.
Wemby,
Yeah.
not realising that you had to play 65 games.
Do you think he can play 65 games? Because I reckon there's every chance
he
he can
can.
play 65.
If he gets I think there's every chance he doesn't play 30 minutes very often, so he might be playing like in the 20s minutes, and that might prolong his chances, improve him of getting to 65. I just think the Spurs are going to be bad again, and I just can't see them risking him. Like, last thing you want is him get injured and miss multiple months. So yeah,
And I'm curious how many games are in it was EuroLeague he played in. Did he play in EuroLeague?
he played in France.
Yeah.
France. So I'm trying to think how many games they played in that season, because there's always the worry of a rookie adapting to an 82-game season and
Yeah.
breaking down in the second half. So even if he's not injured, might just be, which sounds crazy, but load management in your first season. So it's probably unlikely that he gets to 65, because you don't see many players just in general get there anymore.
Yeah.
So that's unlikely.
But I think we're unanimous in saying that if he plays those 65 games, he's going to win it.
Yep. I think that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. That's a lock. If he
Similar
gets
to
there.
was it Embiid who was clearly the best rookie but didn't play enough games?
Well, he played a year late as well, but I can't
Yeah.
remember. I'm not sure they had a rule like that at the time, did they?
Yeah, it could be. I agree with that sort of thing. His stats are going to be ridiculous, off the charts.
Yep.
All right, big boy award now. Most valuable player, Corey. Who have you got?
Can I be boring again?
Be whoever you want to be.
Well, I'm going to pick Jokic. He's the best player in basketball for me. His team, his team's going to win plenty of games. They're going to be the best regular season team in the West for me. And look, I can't look past him. I was of the belief he should have won it last year. I reckon people have been more inclined to vote for him this year once he plays well again. And yeah, for me, he's the best player in basketball. He's got to win it.
It's a great call, Tom.
Hard to argue, but I'm going to argue it. I think the Boston Celtics will be number 1 seed in the East, so I think Jason Tatum is going to win it.
Oh, I hope so.
I just think that maybe it takes a little bit for the Bucks to get into it. I think similar to what I said about the Suns last week or last podcast, I think that Boston will finish 1 seed, and I think Tatum wins it. Now, I said on the last podcast, I'm going to say it again. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will get votes. He won't win it, but he will finish top 5. I can guarantee you. Take it to the bank.
You're going to lock that in.
Lock it in. I just don't think they win enough games for him to get it, but I'm obviously big on OKC, as you heard in the podcast. So I think he will get some sort of votes. He'll finish top 5, but Tatum will win it.
Would you be shocked if I told you that Shea finished in the top 5 last year?
Well, that makes my call not as bold as I thought it was. I think he finished top 3 then, sorry. I think he finished top 3. I think, yeah.
That's huge.
They'll finish,
they'd need to win a lot of games.
they'd have to finish
the
in the
Thunder.
top
They'd have to be
6 seed
playoff
for
team.
sure.
Playoff
Top 6,
team.
yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
the Tatum call's a good one. If Boston do overcome Milwaukee and become the 1 seed, that's big for him.
So
Absolutely.
I think he will get it.
Yeah. I've also got Jokic for very similar reasons. Felt very strongly about him not winning the MVP last year, and I still do. And with everything that happened in those playoffs, getting his first ring, absolutely dominating, cruising to that title, it's just shown everyone that, like you said, he is clearly the best player in basketball. And he's going to prove that again this year with ridiculously efficient stats. Probably just going to be about the same as last year, but going to get all the recognition for it. And
Yes.
I believe it will be an absolute demolition of MVP voting.
Yeah.
He'll win it comfortably.
Wow.
Yeah, landslide.
To be fair, I think definitely when he second one, a lot of people were saying, well, he was shit in the playoffs. Why should we vote for him in the regular season? Even the regular season award, I think that almost that voter fatigue in the sense that they were so bad. They did nothing in the playoffs. So, like, why would we vote for the regular season? But I think the fact they won it, I think you're right. I
It
think
could have the
back
inverse effect.
puts him back on the map.
There is
so, yeah,
literally no hole in his narrative now because of that.
yeah, I
basically.
agree. Yeah, so you're right. He probably. I guess I'm trying to bank on the fact that they're already so good that maybe I'll say maybe he starts slow, but his start slow is probably like 15, 12, and like 18 or some shit. Like he starts slow, is still incredibly good, but I just think that he probably won't care as much at the start, but he's still going to be unreal.
Yeah, 100%. But I also, Tom, if you can just look at my sheet here, can you read what it says just there?
He also had SGA to finish top 3 in MVP. Great minds, Riley.
Yeah,
That is great minds.
I was in the car with Brody on the way home from his game yesterday, and I said to him, mate, I'm going to go into bat for you, make a big call. Shea to finish top 3 in MVP.
That's so
Tommy
cute.
beat you to it.
That's so
And
cute.
that's why when you got that, it's nice. It's nice. We're on the same wavelength. Yeah, believe that Embiid and the Sixers will have a stinker of the year, so Embiid will not get there, and
Agreed.
Giannis will cruise with Lillard there. So
I like it.
Shea to finish top 3. Now, so that's it for the awards. Just really quickly, so another one we had. We talked about it last year, I believe. A player who is in a make or break season of sorts. So you can take this whichever way you want. It can be someone who once was a star who has since struggled and is sort of falling back in terms of where they are in the league. It can be a journeyman who is hanging on by a thread on a new team. It can be a young player who had a lot of potential, hasn't shown it. Take this whichever way you want to. This is purely your opinion. Tom, who have you got?
So I've got two in case. So my one is Karl Anthony Towns. And I just think it's hard because I don't think they're going to compete for a ring. So maybe saying it's make or break is probably a bit harsh. But I just think he's very, very close to being traded. And where does he get traded to? I don't know. Could he get banished to a terrible team? I don't know. So, yes, going with him because I just think he, as I talked about last podcast, that I feel like he's just becoming more and more insignificant. Sounds really harsh, but he's just not like the same hype. He's just not there, and it's clearly taken over. So for me, he's obviously still going to get a maximum if he got traded wherever he goes in terms of contract. But I just don't think he's become more and more relevant, in my opinion. He's becoming as a good stat player, but he's not really having any impact.
And it's clear that Edwards is their guy.
Yeah.
So he will be, along with Gobert, obviously, will be the scapegoat for any problems they have, but they are stuck with Gobert.
Yeah.
They're just not going to trade him. If it's a choice of him and Cat, they're stuck with Gobert. So Cat, like you said, he's going to be the one that gets traded. So it's a lot of pressure on him. That's a really good one. Good job, Tom.
Thanks, man.
Love
Corey,
it, Tommy.
who you got?
Well, I'm going to take you boys to the 2019 draft class. Do you guys know who was in the 2019 draft class?
No,
Can you
hit me with
remember
it.
Well, I'm going to hit you with two players. First two picks, Ja and Zion.
Like it. I like it.
Both have a lot to prove. Both two young stars. I mean, Ja's like on the borderline of losing his career.
Yes.
So he's got to come back. He's got a lot to show. He needs to get that Memphis Grizzlies team into the top 4 seeds for me. And look, last year we flagged him as an MVP candidate. We need to see that Ja when he comes back. And he's going to have a really good run up to the season. He should be healthy. So that's Ja. That's Ja.
He owes him that much, doesn't he?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they've put this much faith in him and given him
Yes.
all the support he needs.
Agree.
And
Time
he's
to
playing
return.
a 57-game regular season. So he should be dominant.
Perfect
He
for a
plays.
player like him. That's real like crash and bash. Like all the talk is like his career's gonna get cut short. It was a short season this year, so he has no reason to burn out or anything.
Yep, exactly
He
right.
should take the piss when he gets back.
Exactly right.
Mm,
And then the number one pick from that year, Zion.
Yeah.
Not the same in... Well, I mean, he's had his off-court scandals throughout the
Yeah,
year.
well, gee whiz,
Which,
running with
I'm
some
sure Tommy's-
explicit.
Yeah, Tommy be following that very closely.
Yes.
Reddit.
Reddit. But yeah, so Zion's had his own scandals, but we know how talented of a player he is. We just need him to be healthy and fit on the court. That's
I
all we
like
need.
it.
Because when he's there, he's fantastic.
Yes.
So yeah, real make or break season for both of them.
I like it. You've attacked the stars right
I
up the
like
top.
it. Yeah.
I've gone the complete opposite route.
Love it.
I scoured all the rosters, basically,
Wow.
and tried to... I've got a list of 7, but I'm going to narrow it down to 2.
Is Ben Simmons on that 7?
No, because I just
Okay,
assumed
good.
that he would
Real
pop up.
Tom
Yeah.
Arias here that just list a bunch and
Yeah.
just throw shit at the wall.
No,
so it sticks.
I'll pick my 2 favourites, and then if you want, I can say the rest of them just really quickly, because
Sure.
Cat was actually one of them.
Nice.
So,
Very
again,
good.
same way.
Great minds.
Number 1, I'm going to go with James Wiseman.
Oh.
Nice.
So, obviously, Golden State got drafted there. A lot of issues throughout last year. Clearly just did not fit in that team. Steph Curry showed visible frustration with him on the court for being essentially lazy, I would say. I'd go
Yeah.
as far to say he just looked lazy. Got traded to Detroit, had a couple of really good games, showed flashes, and then just got lost in that rotation. They've got Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart. That's 3 bigs doesn't go into one. Like there's not a lot of minutes to go around there, and Duren is their man. He showed so much promise last year, and he's going to be their starting center. So for Wiseman, if he doesn't fit in the rotation of Detroit, He's not going to fit in the rotation of many teams, and his career's over. So
Yep.
he's one who has to have a really good year in what will probably be limited minutes. Another one, Chris Duarte.
Oh, right.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a rogue one.
Going at the young blokes.
Yeah.
Young at all the young
I
blokes.
like the Wiseman one, but Duarte, I'm interested to hear your thoughts here.
Well, you'd argue that Chris Duarte is not young because he was
That's
a
true.
mature.
Yeah.
So he's
you're
26 years old.
Right. Yeah.
So he's not very young.
Mm.
And he's gone to the Kings, where he should fit really, really well. He got similar to Wiseman. He got lost in the Pacers rotation with guys like Mathurin getting drafted, who had just burst onto the scene.
Yep.
He's gone to the Kings, who already have similar players to Duarte, who shone last year. They got Herder, they got Monk. I'm not sure if there's room for Duarte, so there's not going to be a lot of minutes for him and not a lot of opportunity. But same sort of thing. His career could easily be over by the end of this season if he doesn't perform.
Got to make the most of it.
So maybe quite harsh, but
Davion Mitchell, another one, another guard that was good when as a backup to Fox. So yeah, I like the way you it's a little bit differently to us. I like that.
So I'm just going to quickly go with my other names: Reggie Jackson,
Yep.
Obi Toppin, Christian Wood, and RJ Barrett.
RJ Barrett's
RJ's
a
a
good one.
great one. Gee whiz, he has not come on.
I almost went, because he was the third pick in that draft class,
Yeah.
I almost just went top three.
I should have grouped them together.
Yeah, I should have had all three of them.
Yeah. Well, do it. Corey is going with three of them now.
Well, Fletcher's man.
Oh,
Fletcher's
true.
He just
he's
has to
real
draft
high
him
on
again.
RJ Barrett.
It's just tradition, isn't it?
He's
Yeah.
ranked
Just
so
draft him.
low in fantasy.
Grab him every year.
He's ranked so low.
You could just
Yeah.
about get him in the 12th or 13th round.
He's like 130 something.
Oh,
Yeah,
yuck.
he's bad, man.
Yeah.
Right. I'm
You
excited
could
for
do.
it.
But even he's getting, like another player that's just getting lost.
Yes.
Like he has 2 stars on that team. Like he could be a really good complementary scoring piece to that team, and he should be. Mm-hmm. But he isn't.
He just doesn't do it for more than
No.
2 or 3 games. It's so frustrating because
Yeah.
he clearly has enough talent. Like he's gotten to the NBA for a reason, right? And he
No
got picked
doubt.
number 3 for a reason.
Yeah.
Just can't put it together, which is frustrating.
He's just had moments. Like he's had flashes and moments, and he just needs to put together some consistent performances.
Hopefully this is the year. We'll keep an eye on him. Okay. NBA Finals prediction. Give me your winner, your loser, and if you want, your Finals MVP. Tom, who you got?
I think the Bucks defeat the Phoenix Suns in the NBA Finals, and I think Dame Dollar wins the MVP, Finals MVP.
Okay, I like it. So, yeah, okay, so Bucks, who you believe finished the number 2 seed but make the NBA Finals.
Same with the Suns. They
Same
both
as the
finished. They
Suns.
both finished the 2 seeds.
Okay.
And
Wait.
yeah, remember I told you that the Suns.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. We had this debate last. It was a shambles.
sorry. Move
But
on.
yes.
Sorry, Corey.
I've got the Nuggets taking on the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals, and in a game 7, the Nuggets will win, and Jokic will get his second Finals MVP, solidifying himself amongst the
The
greats.
top 15 of all time.
Yeah,
Maybe.
and
Oh,
pushing himself.
15?
Yeah, he
I
could be
don't know. I'm
Quite
guessing.
niche.
Top 10 sounds
pushing
like a lot.
himself ahead of Giannis
There you go.
in all-time ranking.
There you go. Wow. So he's gone the MVP, championship, Finals MVP,
The treble.
the treble.
The
Yeah.
treble.
Yeah,
Guess what, Corey?
Oh, don't say you agree with him.
I agree. He's doing it.
welcome.
But he's beating the Bucks and beating Giannis, which makes it even more juicy.
Right.
So yeah, I it's hard to go past them. Like we said, they're just going to continue on from last year. Yeah, Jokic will be Jokic. That matchup will be fascinating. Murray versus Lillard and Jokic versus Giannis. That's just box office.
Yep.
And yeah, could be much like my call with Collingwood and Brisbane being one of the great grand finals. Feel this will be one of the great NBA Finals series.
I love it.
There you go.
Can I explain my thinking?
Absolutely, you can.
So I think that if Milwaukee makes the NBA Finals and runs into Denver, they'll beat them. I reckon Milwaukee match up better with Denver than Boston does. So I have Boston beating Milwaukee in that Eastern Conference Finals because I think similarly they match up really well against Milwaukee, and then
And then they just go on and yeah, okay. Oh yeah, I like that thinking. Okay,
you
okay.
understand what I'm saying? So,
Yes.
yeah.
Well-
I think Milwaukee can beat Denver.
Yes.
But Denver.
But they
can
won't
beat
get the
Boston, and
opportunity to
Boston
beat
will-
Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Are we all sort of in? Is it just common sort of thought that Boston and Milwaukee are just playing it off?
Yeah.
I think so.
They're so much better than the rest. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
not close.
Yeah. Well, we'll note that, and at the end of the season, we'll revisit that and see because I
Yeah.
like your thinking there. That's good logic.
Mm.
That's too smart for us, Tom.
That's too smart.
Yeah.
That's too advanced for me.
Yeah.
Playing chess.
He's out here
Oh,
thinking
yeah,
about
those blind
matchups.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh dear. Now fair play. So that is the conclusion of our NBA previews. I very much enjoyed it.
I do.
It was good to have Corey there, as Fletcher does. Just like that next level of basketball mind, I feel, compared to us.
Yes, he's a bit better, but especially me. But yeah, I guess I wouldn't have said yourself. I think you're very knowledgeable. But Fletcher's probably the main basketball guy on the podcast. I think we had to replace him with someone of equal expertise.
Certainly the best basketballer of the bunch.
Yes.
I would argue that.
Not either of
Hey,
us.
he's
I'd
sitting
like
right-
to see you argue that with
Sitting
him.
right next to us, mate. Look at him.
Yeah, my heyday.
This mug.
In my heyday.
But no, we needed to replace him with someone of equal basketball knowledge, and we got that in Corey Lyle. So
Big shoes to fill.
yeah, thank you for being on that last few weeks.
Yeah, thank you,
Pleasure as
Corey.
always, fellas.
Thank you.
Happy to be here.
Corey, although you did go down a rung in my books today when you turned down a Dare Ice coffee.
Yeah, that's horrendous. Riley's like, boys on a dare on for the podcast, and Corey said he wanted a peppy instead.
Well, like I told you, boys, I like coffee that tastes like coffee nowadays, not liquid ice cream. You know, like
Liquid ice cream.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah, so-
Who is this
That's
uncultured?
terrible.
I'm not going to swear on this podcast, but
That's terrible,
it's getting a
Corey.
bit feisty towards the end.
Mate, Riley and I take our dares very seriously.
No, I know you do. I know you do. I once was like that, and then
and then you matured, did
Then
you?
he grew up,
Yeah.
you prick.
yeah.
All right, before it gets nasty, Tom, as you have done in all of these,
Okay.
please finish us off.
Thank you all for listening to the podcast. Riley, I didn't say hello to you, so thank you. Goodbye. Thank you for being on. I sound like I'm not trying to sound like the host here. Corey, as I said, thank you for being on. I think it's fair to say that if either of me or Fletch, or Fletch you or I, miss throughout the season, I reckon we get Corey on more often than not. I think he won't be a stranger. So thank you, Corey, for the last few weeks, my friend.
Easy convenience. Yep.
It is convenient because
I'm only up the road.
so it's very convenient for Corey. So Corey, you'll be on definitely throughout the season. And yeah, thank you all for listening. Tell a friend and also a stranger. So thank you. Like, comment, subscribe. I didn't say that last week. So like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, keen for the basketball season to get underway. So anything else, gentlemen?
Nah. Good luck in netball tonight.
Thank you. I'm running late here, so all good. Thank you for listening.
Hooroo.